request, there are very few people, so I would request please switch on their videos.
Recording in progress.
Kindly please switch on your videos.
Good evening, everyone. I, Anjali Chabra, on behalf of ComHub, the Commerce Society of the Arts and Evening College, welcome you all to this very exciting workshop on the topic, MBA as the best career option. Before we move any further, I request you all to kindly maintain the decorum throughout the session. You can post your queries in the chat box and we'll make sure that they're addressed at the end of the session. I ask you all to keep your cameras turned on and your microphones turned off unless told otherwise. May we begin, sir?
Yes, Anjali, let me help you because people are just shying away from opening the videos. Is Sagar Rastogi? Sagar Rastogi. Harsh Mishra. Harsh, we couldn't hear you. Sagar, either. Alka Kumari.
Yes, Sagar. Where are you, Sagar? Harsh? Yes. Rishabh? Can you answer, sir? Rishabh, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Sir, you can ask him.
Harsh, you there? Okay, Tanvi.
Keep the videos turned on.
Tanvi, Riddhi Bhushan, Vibhor Dabas.
Yes, sir.
Vibhor Dabas. Vibhor, request if you could please switch on your camera.
Sure, sir.
Vinayak. What a lovely sounding name, Vinayak Sharma.
Yes, sir.
Kindly please switch on your camera, man.
Of course, sir.
Devanshi.
Yes, sir. Just do it.
Okay, Tanvi.
Yes.
Please switch on your camera. For once, see, it's not mandatory to switch on camera, although I would really advise you guys to switch on your cameras, but it's not mandatory, first of all. Only thing that I require is a little, response from your side so that I should see that, people are there. So, and we have seen a lot during our, online workshops. So I've taken a lot of sessions during my COVID times. I believe I've taken around 350 webinars across all the colleges of India. And in the August company of course, faculty like Indu ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Because it's indeed a pleasure when a faculty joins the webinar. It's indeed a pleasure when a faculty joins and a very respected faculty rather. So it makes my job pretty easier. Ayush, can
Thank
you hear
you,
me?
sir, for sparing your time also.
Then it's okay, ma'am. Anything for students. Okay, friends, what I do is that I've been given that MBA is a best career option, but पहले हम ये भी देख लें कि you are actually studying in one of the best NIRF ranked college of India. According to the National Institute of Ranking Framework, Dayal Singh College ranks pretty high in the art, science, and commerce domain. And NIRF rankings are very crucial when you are aiming to go into India's top business schools. Now, a little bit about myself, friends. My name is Navneet Anand. I belong to a place called Yamunanagar, which is right now very much in the news because of this Hathni Kund barrage, jahan se water release kiya jata hai. I come from that particular area. And I'm a person with 16 years of experience in the corporate world only for financial industry. And after that, another 4.5 to 5 years now with Career Launcher. I've served in ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, and Kotak Mahindra Bank for good 16 years in the corporate banking domain. I did my master's in business administration with specialization in finance from prestigious Narsi Monji Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai. And I'm a graduate from Kurukshetra University. So I completed my graduation in the year 2000, and in 2002, I finished my MBA. So it's been more than 21 years of working, but it's been 5 years of full-time working with you guys, that is the student community. I have a pleasure of being the mentor and guide for so many students who went to prestigious Indian Institute of Management, Faculty of Management Studies, Xavier Labor Relations Institute, and of course, Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies. In this session, we'll be talking about how to go about. First, need to find the relevance of MBA. I'll be very much surprised कि अगर आप लोग काफी ज्यादा मोटिवेटेड हो MBA के लिए, because अगर लाइफ के इस स्टेज में अगर आप सेकेंड ईयर में या थर्ड ईयर में हैं, 3 ईयर डिग्री कोर्स में, और आपके दिमाग में अगर एकदम क्लैरिटी है कि आपने लाइफ में करना क्या है, तो बिलीव मी, यू आर very good and nicely placed as compared to other 99.5% students who are still clueless. So the objective of this webinar is to ensure, first, to create an absolutely clarity in the mind. मुझे पता है वो 45 मिनट में नहीं हो सकती है, but मैं कुछ आपको पॉइंटर्स दूंगा जिसके बेसिस पे आप डिसीजन ले सकते हो कि आपने करना क्या है. कुछ ज्यादा नहीं, पूरी क्लास में 5 या 6 लोग होते हैं जो एकदम क्लियर होते हैं कि उनको या तो CA करना है अगर आप कॉमर्स ग्रेजुएट हैं, या आगे CFA करना है, या फिर आप MBA करना चाहते हैं, आप UPSC क्लियर करना चाहते हैं, या आप इनमें से कुछ भी नहीं करना चाहते, आप अपना एक स्टार्टअप खोलना चाहते हैं, या आप सीधा जब नौकरी स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं, यू वांट टू बी फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट. सो मेनी थिंग्स आर गोइंग अराउंड, एंड ऑफ कोर्स हर चीज के प्रॉस एंड कॉन्स हैं. It is always a very good option if someone start his or her career after graduation. तो उसके बहुत positives भी हैं और negatives भी हैं. Similarly, if you are fully equipped with a professional degree and a qualification, तो उसके पॉजिटिव ही पॉजिटिव हैं. एक पिटफॉल बस ये है कि अगले 2-3 साल तक अभी आपको और पढ़ाई करनी पड़ेगी. So having said that, we will clear all those cobwebs. I will not be speaking for more than 40 minutes. 40 मिनट से ज्यादा मैं नहीं बोलूंगा. I would rather reserve the 20, 15, 20, 25 minutes for the Q&A session. And if that Q&A session exceeds beyond, then I would really love to take it, because मेरी लाइफ में इस सेमिनार के बाद, अभी शाम के बाद कोई एजेंडा नहीं है. That means मुझे कोई और क्लास नहीं लेनी है. So I have prepared really well, kind of. Okay, थोड़ा बोल देता हूँ. Self-exaggeration point to that point of self-exaggeration. Yes, I prepared a PowerPoint presentation for you guys, and that will be my medium while interacting with you. Now, at the end of this webinar, if someone needs that PPT, I'll happily share it also. But point is to understand what that slide says. So just keep your mind open, and as famously said, and obviously logical है, mind और parachute तभी काम करते हैं जब वो दोनों open होते हैं. So let's go ahead. I'll share this my screen with you, and start with this presentation. Never mind the date, just mentioned out here. उस दिन PPT बनानी start की थी. There we go. Okay, that's a slideshow. Voila, let's begin. So let's straight away start it. Doston, according to Glassdoor, now Glassdoor is a leading consulting firm, one of the leading consulting firms. According to Glassdoor, there are 15 career options or jobs which are available in the world right now, which basically are proof, as in which basically are future proof in respect to कि कोई भी अगर disruption होती है in terms of technology or disruption in terms of, let's say, कोई pandemic, these 15 jobs are absolutely safe. So jobs like data scientist, manufacturing engineer, mobile developer, occupational therapist, finance manager, compliance manager, risk manager, product manager, these jobs are absolutely safe in the world. In fact, ये jobs पहले भी exist करते थे, and COVID-19 के बाद ये वो jobs हैं जो कि और भी ज़्यादा demand बढ़ गई है. Out of these 15 jobs, 7 of them require you to have some or the other formal grooming in the management course. So HR manager, marketing manager, strategy manager, BDM, risk manager, finance manager, इसके लिए आपको एक formal grooming चाहिए एक management course के लिए. Hence MBA यहाँ important है. दूसरी important चीज as a deterrent, McKinsey and Company, one of the topmost consulting firms of the world, have come out with this news. And I believe पिछले 2-2.5 साल से ये information काफी ज्यादा चल रही है कि world में economy जो है वो काफी ज्यादा recession पे जा रही है. In fact, one of the greatest economies, Germany, have also declared that they have gone under recession just 2 months back. So on 22nd of February, McKinsey came out with a statement that they are planning to eliminate nearly 2,000 jobs. And the one underlying aspect of that was that जो employees को निकाला जा रहा है, ये वो लोग हैं जिनका कंपनी के क्लाइंट से कोई फेस टू फेस इंटरेक्शन इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक प्रोफेशनल इंटरेक्शन नहीं था. अब कंसल्टिंग कंपनी में बेसिकली 2 तरह के रोल्स होते हैं. एक होता है क्लाइंट फेसिंग, बेसिकली पार्टनर रोल, और दूसरा होता है एक एनालिस्ट रोल. नाउ क्लाइंट फेसिंग रोल जो होता है, जो पार्टनर रोल होता है, प्रोफाइल होता है, these are the people who are supposed to generate a lot of revenue for the consulting, that particular consulting firm. और जितने भी एनालिस्ट और सपोर्ट टीम के बंदे होते हैं, ये उस पार्टनर का पार्ट होते हैं. नाउ जब बिजनेस अच्छा आ रहा होता है कंसल्टिंग फर्म में, तो पार्टनर को एंकरेज किया जाता है कि वो अपना टीम का साइज बढ़ाए, तो काफी एनालिस्ट और सपोर्ट में बंदे हायर होते हैं. लेकिन जब रिसेशन का टाइम आता है तो क्लाइंट पे प्रेशर आता है कि वो अपनी टीम को डाउन साइज करे, उन्हें पिंक स्लिप पकड़ाए. तो दैट इज व्हाई माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, जो पार्टनर रोल होता है वो आपको एक MBA कॉलेज में मिलेगा. Boston Consulting Group goes to various Delhi University colleges also, for sure. Yes, I think not many days back when I was taking the session at Shahid Bhagat Singh College, उन्होंने बोला कि सर आज हमारे कॉलेज में BCG आ रही है, तो काफी फाइनल ईयर के स्टूडेंट्स अटेंड नहीं कर रहे हैं सेमिनार. तो then I really understood from them that BCG has come to Shahid Bhagat Singh College to pick student for the analyst role. तो फिर ये बात समझाई गई कि बॉस, अगर पार्टनर रोल चाहिए उसके लिए आपको इंडिया के टॉप कॉलेजेस में, MBA कॉलेजेस में जाना पड़ेगा. नेक्स्ट थिंग, ऑफ कोर्स द टॉप CEOs इन द वर्ल्ड हु आर MBAs. फर्स्ट थिंग, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का स्टूडेंट अजय बांगा, स्टूडेंट ऑफ नॉर्थ कैंपस दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, अजय बांगा went on to do his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, started working with Visa. At the height of pandemic, Ajay's daily salary was 2.2 lakh rupees. I'm talking about daily salary, 2.2 lakh rupees. Ajay has been appointed by Joe Biden to lead World Bank. Currently, the person who's leading World Bank is an Indian. His name is Ajay Banga from IIM Ahmedabad. Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, all these people are MBAs. In fact, Nykaa ki founder, Falguni Nair ma'am, she started from IIM Ahmedabad and she worked in Kotak Mahindra Bank for 19 years. She's also made director of Tata Motors, and she's the one who came out with Nykaa brand. Currently, she's amongst world's top 50 wealthiest women. So that's about, that's some of the 2-3 reasons why MBA is very much in focus right now. But let me tell you about few things. Agar aap MBA karne ke liye ja rahe ho, there are 3 things which are responsible for growth in your career. आपके career में, पूरे corporate world में अगर आपने काम करना है, तो आपके पूरे career में ये 3 चीजें बहुत important है. First is the brand. If you are working with an industrial leader or a pioneer, then you have a certain advantage. I'll explain you why. The second thing is a profile. आप उस कंपनी में काम क्या कर रहे हो? For example, अगर Asian Paints जैसी respected company है या Nestle जैसी respected company है, वहां पे आप एज अ ब्रांड मैनेजर हो, प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर हो, कैटेगरी मैनेजर हो, या जस्ट आप एक सेल्स की प्रोफाइल में हो. सो प्रोफाइल मैटर्स अ लॉट. और आप अपने करियर में कितना आगे बढ़ेंगे, कितना ज्यादा अच्छा करेंगे, ये प्रोफाइल पे डिपेंड करेगा. द थर्ड थिंग इज द ऑफर, कि कितना आप पैसा ड्रॉ करते हो, आपकी स्टार्टिंग सैलरी क्या है, ये बहुत मैटर करता है. जस्ट अ सेक. So right now on your screen, there is this typical slide has some of the finest brands. Consulting, where you have Boston Consulting Group. In the banking, you have Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, HSBC. Citibank, Axis Bank. If I talk about fast-moving consumer goods, you have Asian Paints, Nestle. Consumer goods में Nest आपका Samsung है. Then Tata Administrative Services, Tata Consultancy Services as far as IT is concerned. Lenovo, Honeywell, GlaxoSmithKline, Colgate-Palmolive, Credit Suisse as banks are concerned. Rating agencies में CRISIL है. These are the companies which actually came for IIM Cozicode's final placements in February this year. Now, the thing is that the advantage of working in these companies is that कि आपकी market value बहुत बढ़ जाती है. Now, the prospective HR or the headhunters, they see, okay, this person is right now working, let's say Flipkart, then they would want you to be in your company because you are employing some of the finest industry practices that are being deployed by an e-services major. So market value, आपकी market value बहुत improve होती है. जो तीनों में brand profile और cost to company which is offer में सबसे important चीज है वो है profile. Now यहाँ पे मैंने कुछ एक years का दिया हुआ है and साथ में नीचे 3 लोगों की photos दी हुई हैं. If some of you can identify, the first photo of the lady is basically Chanda Kochhar ma'am. Now Chanda Kochhar, आप तो फिर भी बहुत एक NIRF काफी high rank college से हो. Chanda Kochhar graduated from Jai Hind College of Mumbai, which is not even in the top 30. Okay, so not even the top 30 college of India, but she was pretty much ambitious. She worked really hard for the entrance exam and she got through the Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, which is one of the best colleges as far as the top 10 colleges of India. She started her career with ICICI, moving from corporate banking to the treasury operations, finally becoming the chief financial officer. And in the year 2009, because of her work, she was crowned as chief executive officer. She was the CEO of the ICICI Bank for the next 10 years till 2019. So when you join a good MBA college, जिस तरह की आपकी placements होती हैं, जिस profile में आप होते हो, एक चीज तो sorted है कि अगले 25-30 साल तक आपका career एकदम sorted हो जाता है. That means almost 80% of your career is actually sorted when you get into an MBA college. Right? This particular slide shows extract from the placement figures of IIM Ahmedabad this year, of last year. These are audited placement figures. It basically mentions sector-wise classification. Now, most of you who are studying in, let's say, commerce or the sciences or the humanities, just see for yourself. अभी आपको जिस तरह के job मिलेंगे, वो एक बहुत limited होंगे. आप as a business analyst, as a account analyst join करेंगे. लेकिन अगर आप MBA करते हैं, तो आप एक बार sector-wise में जाइए. First, left-hand side में, banking, financial services, conglomerates, that means business houses like Adani, Ambani, Aditya Birla Group. Then consulting. Consulting itself accounts for more than 38% placements of all the B schools. So Ernst & Young, Accenture, Deloitte, इसमें आपका हो जाता है. Then consumer goods, consumer services, engineering technology, information technology, manufacturing, online, telecom. आप in fact PSUs तक में भी आप जा सकते हो. So one thing is for sure, if you are getting into a good MBA college, you are pretty much sorted out. Now this is extremely great slides because this talks about India's top 9 colleges. और यहाँ मैं एक बात बोलूँगा दोस्तों, this is my experience of last 21 years in the corporate world. If you want to do an MBA, अगर MBA करनी हो, तो इंडिया के top 25-30 कॉलेज से ही करना, वरना MBA करना ही मत. Because वो जो 3 चीजें मैंने आपको बताई थी एडवांटेज, कि एक अच्छा ब्रांड मिलना, एक अच्छी प्रोफाइल मिलना और एक अच्छा ऑफर मिलना, ये तभी होगा जब आप इंडिया के टॉप 25-30 कॉलेज में हो. ऐसा भी हो सकता है आपको एक अच्छे ब्रांड में काम करने का मौका मिल जाए, एक लो रैंक कॉलेज में, लेट्स से 50th या 60th रैंक कॉलेज में भी आप Amazon में काम कर सकते हो. लेकिन आप प्रोफाइल किस चीज में काम कर रहे हो, टेक सपोर्ट में काम कर रहे हो या फिर आप उनके बिजनेस में काम कर रहे हो. सो that really makes matters interesting. Now this slide talks about India's top 9 colleges. It displays their batch size, and these are average domestic salaries, cost to company, annual package as on 28th February 2023. So सारे टॉप 20 स्कूल्स की प्लेसमेंट्स यूजुअली फरवरी के मंथ में होती हैं. तो ये अभी लेटेस्ट पैकेजेस हैं. अगर आप क्लियरली देखें, इंडिया में 20 IIMs हैं, 20 इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट हैं, उसमें से टॉप 10 में 6 हैं. एंड 7th नंबर पे Xavier लेबर रिलेशन इंस्टीट्यूट जो जमशेदपुर में है. एट नंबर 8 वी हैव आवर वेरी ओन फैकल्टी ऑफ मैनेजमेंट स्टडीज. तो इस वक्त मैं नॉर्थ कैंपस सेंटर में बैठ के वेबिनार ले रहा हूँ. FMS is hardly kilometer away from here. And then Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies. So ये ऐसे कॉलेज हैं कि इनकी पोजीशंस कोई रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता. एंड NIRF रैंकिंग को मैं बिजनेस स्कूल की प्लेस रैंकिंग्स में इतना नहीं मानता, बिकॉज आप बिजनेस स्कूल ज्वाइन क्यों करते हो? आप इसलिए ज्वाइन करते हो ताकि आपको एक अच्छी नौकरी लग सके, आप एक अच्छा करियर स्टार्ट कर सको, आपका स्टार्टिंग सैलरी बहुत जबरदस्त हो. और एक चीज याद रखना दोस्तों, there is a very important point that I really would want to tell you about, starting salaries. It is a known fact, and it's a very silently known fact, that you basically double your salary usually in 8 years. अगर आप बहुत एवरेज भी परफॉर्म करो तो आप 8 साल में अपनी सैलरी डबल करते हो. Now, if you take a job or if you start your career immediately after graduation, maximum you can land up with is anybody in the range of 5 to 7 lakhs. Now, with a super performance over the next 8 years, that means अगर आप year on year बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करते हो, आपका लक भी बहुत अच्छा है, तो 8 साल में ज्यादा से ज्यादा आप अपनी सैलरी को 4 या मैक्सिमम 5 टाइम्स कर लोगे. दैट मीन्स 5 लाख का पैकेज ज्यादा 25 या 30 लाख का बन पाएगा. लेकिन जब आपकी स्टार्टिंग सैलरी ही अगर 33 लाख है या 30 लाख आपकी स्टार्टिंग सैलरी है, अगर आपकी स्टार्टिंग सैलरी 30 लाख है और अगर आप इतना परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाते हो 8 साल में, कुछ 2 या 3 ऐसे साल होते हैं जिसमें आप परफॉर्म कर पाते हो, still you'll be able to double your salary to 60 to 65 lakhs in next 8 years. इसलिए दोस्तों अपनी स्टार्टिंग सैलरी हमेशा हाई रखना, क्योंकि वो आपका एक बेस बनाता है. एंड यू एक्चुअली प्ले इन दैट टेरिटरी ओनली. आप कभी नीचे आके नहीं खेलेंगे. राइट नाउ, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दीज the top 9 colleges, these are the next 9 best colleges. SP Jain Institute of Management Research, this is in Andheri, Mumbai. Then Management Development Institute, this is in Gurugram. Followed by Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, which is in Delhi, Kolkata, and a place in Andhra called Kakinada. Now, IFT provides you Masters in International Business. आपको कभी MBA नहीं देता है, वो आपको देता है Masters in International Business. This is the only college in the country which is purely run by government. Directorate General of Foreign Trade runs IIFT, followed by Shailesh Mehta School of Management at IIT Bombay, then Department of Management Studies IIT Delhi, then बाकी सब IIMs में IIM Shillong, Nursi Munji Institute of Management Studies Mumbai, Symbiosis Institute of Business Management in Pune, and National Institute for Industrial Engineering. Now, NITI has been accorded Indian Institute of Management IIM status just a week back. So NITI basically becomes IIM Mumbai, and it is the 21st IIM in India. MBA basically क्या होता है? Masters of Business Administration is basically study of pillars of various aspects of business. दुनिया के जितने भी बड़े या छोटे या मीडियम साइज के बिजनेस हैं, उसकी बेसिकली यही काइंड ऑफ पार्ट्स हैं. You have marketing. Any activity that gives revenue is called marketing. Managing the money flow in the company is basically finance. Operations management is supposed to bring out the efficiency of your business operations. Information system or IT management is basically you're responsible for the entire IT architecture of your company or a group or a division. Then you have the international business, and of course, to manage the people in the organization is human resource management. तो आप इनमें से किसी एक में स्पेशलाइजेशन करते हैं, राइट? So यहाँ हम थोड़ा स्विच करते हैं. We talk about the entrance exams for MBA. So उससे पहले मैं आपको कुछ चीजें क्लियर करना चाहता हूं कि बेसिकली 2 तरह के टेस्ट होते हैं, एंट्रेंस एग्जाम होते हैं. पहला होता है टेक्निकल और दूसरा होता है एप्टीट्यूड. जो टेक्निकल एग्जाम्स होते हैं जैसे कि यूपीएससी, यूनियन पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन, इंजीनियरिंग का जॉइंट एंट्रेंस एग्जाम, या मेडिकल का नेशनल एलिजिबिलिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट, या इंजीनियरिंग में पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन का गेट, देन चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी, ये सब टेक्निकल एग्जाम्स हैं. टेक्निकल एग्जाम का मतलब क्या है? टेक्निकल एग्जाम का मतलब ये है कि इनका एक डिफाइंड सिलेबस है. तो यूपीएससी में आप 2 सब्जेक्ट चूज करते हो, साथ में आपका जनरल स्टडीज का पेपर होता है, एक वास्ट एग्जॉस्टिव सिलेबस होता है. जेई जब आप देते हो तो उसमें फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ्स होता है. नीट में फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, बायोलॉजी होता है. गेट में जो इंजीनियरिंग सब्जेक्ट है वो होता है. तो इन सब का एक डिफाइंड सिलेबस है टेक्निकल एग्जाम्स का. एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट जो होते हैं उनका कोई डिफाइंड सिलेबस नहीं होता. और एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट कैसे होते हैं? जैसे कॉमन एडमिशन टेस्ट हो गया, कैट हो गया, या फिर अदर मैनेजमेंट एंट्रेंस टेस्ट, इनको ओमेट्स भी बोलते हैं. अब जो सिलेबस होता है एप्टीट्यूड एग्जाम का, उसको यूजुअली हम बोलते हैं कि आपकी मैथमेटिकल एबिलिटी अप टू क्लास 10th, योर इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज स्किल्स एंड योर रीजनिंग एबिलिटी। बेसिकली अगर देखा जाए एक इफेक्टिव मैनेजर में ये 3 चीजें होनी बहुत जरूरी हैं, बिकॉज एज अ मैनेजर डे इन डे आउट you will be reading a lot of business reports which mentions a lot of numbers and it also involves a lot of calculations. So आपके 10th standard level का maths अच्छा होना चाहिए in order to be an effective manager. In order to be an effective manager, you need to know very well a language which is also the universal language of business in the world, and that is English. You need to be a person who's really well read, because as a manager, the kind of words that you use in your presentation, the kind of words that you use while drafting mails, the way you make your presentations to the board, to the customer, to the vendors, to the suppliers, all that people who matters the most in the business, the way you use your language is very important. Hence, your English language skills has to be spot on. And of course, वो चीज जिसकी वजह से आपको काफी तनख्वाह मिलती है, and that is to bring on a lot of innovation on the table, which is called your reasoning ability, right? So these 3 things are usually tested in the managerial aptitude and hence in the management entrance exam called CAT. Now, moving on to the selection process at the B school, guys, it's a 2-stage process. The first is basically an aptitude test, for example, CAT, XAT, SNAP, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. तो usually 3 लाख लोग ये सारे MBA entrance exam देते हैं. People are shortlisted for the personal interview and writing ability test. तो around 3 लाख में से कुछ 75,000 to 80,000 are being called for the personal interview. उसमें से finally 15,000 लोग select होते हैं in India's top 30-40 colleges. There are certain top colleges in India which also look at your profile. और profile का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप किसी college की society के president हैं या secretary हैं, vice president हैं, treasurer हैं, नहीं. प्रोफाइल का मतलब ये है कि आपका 10th में क्या स्कोर था, 12th में क्या स्कोर था, ग्रेजुएशन में क्या स्कोर था, वर्क एक्सपीरियंस आप में है या नहीं है. एकेडमिक डाइवर्सिटी का मतलब ये है कि आप क्या यूजुअल बीकॉम ऑनर्स, बीकॉम पास, इंजीनियरिंग इस फील्ड से हैं या फिर आप कुछ डाइवर्सिफाइड फील्ड से हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, आर यू अ स्टैटिस्टिक्स ऑनर स्टूडेंट और अ मैथ्स ऑनर स्टूडेंट और मे बी अ बायोकेमिस्ट्री, biotechnology kind of a student. So academic diversity, some of the colleges they prefer a little. Then, of course, gender diversity. Now, most of the top colleges in India, MBA colleges in India, they have this thing that they want a very equitable distribution of both the genders in the class. They want representation from equal representation of both the genders. So females, they get a little relaxation in terms of percentile requirement in order to get a call for interview. Now, this slide talks about, or rather, a matrix है जो आपको बता रहा है कि which are the areas which are being tested in the various entrance examinations. So first of all, friends, every last Sunday of November every year एक टूर्नामेंट स्टार्ट होता है. उस टूर्नामेंट का नाम है मैनेजमेंट एंट्रेंस टेस्ट. और इस टूर्नामेंट का सबसे फाड़ू जो आपका मैच होगा वो पहला ही मैच होगा, उसका नाम है CAT. After common admission test, you have the various other management entrance tests which go on till next year March. तो my hunch, मेरा gut feeling है कि इस बार शायद CAT 26 नवंबर को होगा, because last Sunday of November तो 26 नवंबर है. My hunch is that CAT will be on 26 नवंबर. उसके बाद 1 या 2 या 3 संडे बाद कोई ना कोई और मैनेजमेंट एंट्रेंस एग्जाम होता है. One key thing need to be pointed out is that अगर आप इसे ध्यान से देख रहे होगे स्लाइड को, तो quantitative aptitude, which is testing your mathematical skills, verbal ability, which basically tests your English language skills, logical reasoning and data interpretation, ये चारों चीजें almost common हैं सारे के सारे MBA entrance exam में. And the level is that if you have prepared really well for CAT, it is assumed that you have prepared really well for the other management entrance exams. Of course, there is an exception of general awareness, which is being tested in Xavier Aptitude Test, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade Test, and Tata Institute of Social Sciences. But in fact, the weightage of general awareness question in these tests is also half as compared to the quant or the verbal or a logical reasoning. In fact, Xavier Aptitude Test में तो इंटरव्यू में बुलाने के लिए वो तो पहले आपकी जनरल अवेयरनेस के मार्क्स को भी कंसिडर नहीं करते हैं. जनरल अवेयरनेस के जो मार्क्स होते हैं वो कंसिडर होते हैं ड्यूरिंग फाइनल इवैल्यूएशन. लेकिन आपको इंटरव्यू में बुलाने के लिए आपका जनरल अवेयरनेस के मार्क्स नहीं देखे जाते हैं, right? So these are the prominent management entrance exams that you will be taking, my dear friends, in case you are going for your MBA entrance preparation. A very important slide which basically talks about just a sec. A very important slide which talks about the structure of CAT. Now, I'm taking this reference as the last year one. Last year, there were 66 questions, which needs to be attempted in 120 minutes. The questions were almost equally distributed across all the three sections, which basically check a managerial aptitude of a person. Now, 22 questions to be done in 40 minutes for mathematics, 24 questions to be done in 40 minutes as the English section is concerned, and 20 questions to be done in 40 minutes for LRDI. अब आप एक चीज गौर से देखो, in a typical day-to-day life of a manager, there are few things that a business manager would be requiring frequently. For example, the knowledge about profit loss discount, percentages, averages, time, speed, distance, compound interest, simple interest, time and work. That means uska arithmetical level acha hona chahiye. Similarly, if you are studying MBA and if you are basically into the forecasting model and all, आपका algebra अच्छा होना बहुत जरूरी है. That means अगर आप गौर से देखोगे तो 16 questions out of 22 questions, which is a very hefty portion, is basically dedicated to only arithmetic and algebra. Yes, my dear friends, geometry और mensuration भी टेस्ट होता है, नंबर सिस्टम भी टेस्ट होता है, बट एक दो क्वेश्चन होते हैं. इनफैक्ट अगर आपके पास 11th और 12th में मैथमेटिक्स नहीं था तो केवल एक क्वेश्चन आता है परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन का जो लास्ट ईयर आया. सो this is basically about the mathematical skills. We also talk about verbal ability and reading comprehension, so which is conveniently divided into two subsections. First is verbal ability and second one is reading comprehension. Now friends, बुरा मत मानना, but school तक हमें क्या आदत थी, जब भी कोई unseen passage आता था तो we used to do this skimming, कि हम पहले questions देखते थे, उसके बाद उसका आंसर ढूंढने की कोशिश करते थे पैराग्राफ में, which is an absolutely zero possibility when you attempt an exam of caliber of CAT. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are going for this year's CAT or next year's CAT, but if you really want to score well in CAT, the first thing that you need to get hold is your reading comprehension. Such an important section in CAT, because अगर आप देखेंगे bracket में मैंने questions लिख रखे हैं. There are 16 questions which are at stake out of 66 questions in CAT purely on reading comprehension. Each question in CAT is worth 3 marks. So 16 multiplied by 3, 48 marks over the possible 198 marks are purely dedicated to reading comprehension. A paragraph of a word length of anywhere between 550 to 600 words will be given to you across any kind of topic. So it could be either, business, management, economics, sociology, philosophy, psychology, medicine, politics, sports, kahin se bhi paragraph aa sakta hai, which basically tests how really you well know your language. अगर आप गौर से देखोगे इसमें मैंने कहीं भी vocabulary नहीं लिखा, but that doesn't mean कि आपकी vocabulary test नहीं होती है. Why? Because इन्हीं 550-600 words के paragraph में there are certain 25 to 30 key words जिनके अगर आपको meaning ठीक से आते हैं तो तभी आप एक paragraph को ठीक से समझ पाओगे. That means you need to be kind of person who has some supreme vocabulary, which possesses some supreme vocabulary. And vocabulary and language skills are something which take time to develop. You need to invest more while, preparing for the English section, because it's not just that it is the most important and the scoring section, but also from one point of view that it takes least amount of time to get maximum marks out there also. Because अगर आपने एक paragraph को एक decent reading speed से भी attempt किया और अगर आपको वो पूरा समझ में आ गया, then it's a matter of 25 to 30 seconds to pick the right answer amongst the choices. Right? So reading comprehension is a very important section, and the prime requirement to ace RC is you need to be a very, very well read. And it's extremely crucial कि आप अपनी तैयारी reading comprehension का आपका source क्या है. I would never suggest a paperback by, let's say, Chetan Bhagat or Amish Tripathi to someone who's preparing for CAT. yes, these two people and their genre have done a tremendous job in ensuring कि एक आम जनता में रीडिंग का उन्होंने उत्साह बना दिया है. But when it comes to use of words, the use of language, I would still say that, people like O. Henry, Ruskin Bond, in fact, our very own R.K. Narayan. So books like Malgudi Days and, Guide, these are the books in which the use of language is immensely good. But मैं फिर बोलूंगा वो भी कैट का लेवल नहीं है, because कैट का लेवल तो रियली तब है जब आप बर्ट्रैंड रसल, आयन रैंड तक जाते हैं. बट अगर किसी का लेवल एकदम जीरो है, वो कम से कम इनकी शॉर्ट स्टोरीज पढ़ना स्टार्ट करे. और इन्हीं की क्यों पढ़े? बिकॉज लैंग्वेज जो यूज की गई है वो बहुत रिफाइंड है और बहुत अच्छी है, उसमें वर्ड्स बहुत अच्छे यूज किए गए, राइट? The second subsection is verbal ability, which is basically parajumbles. So set of 4 to 5 sentences which belong to same paragraph. They are given in the jumbled order. You need to rearrange them so that they form a meaningful paragraph. That is parajumbles. Para summary, I would say, is a mini RC. So instead of 550 to 600 words kind of a paragraph, you have a 90 to 100 kind of a paragraph, followed by a question that which amongst the following options best represents the essence or the meaning of this paragraph. So again, you need to understand that small paragraph really well, and of course fill in the blanks. But friends, ये मैंने quant और verbal ability आपके sort किए, but according to me the most trickiest section in the CAT is LRDI. अगर आप देखोगे, now this is our study, our analysis of all the faculty over here. अगर किसी ने 15 से 17 क्वेश्चन भी अटेम्प्ट कर लिए QA सेक्शन में with 90% accuracy, आपने एक्चुअली मास्टर कर लिया है QA को, और आपका 99 परसेंटाइल तो QA में ही आ जाएगा. In the VARC, if you have attempted anywhere between 18 to 19 questions out of 24 questions with 90% accuracy, that means you have aced the verbal ability reading comprehension section. But my dear friends, if you have attempted anywhere between 12 to 13 questions out of 20 with 80% accuracy, you have actually aced LRDI. LRDI को तो बिल्कुल भी कोई syllabus नहीं है, because it is all about brain teasers, puzzles. In fact, इस बार तो data interpretation भी बहुत ही कम था, because data interpretation is about understanding the bar graph, line graph, pie charts, and of course the questions जिसमें काफी कुछ data दिया होता है. आज की तारीख में तो पिछले 2 साल से जो ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं वो ये कर रहे हैं कि द पेपर इज बिकमिंग अ मोर ऑफ लॉजिकल रीजनिंग ओरिएंटेड, राइट? सो इफ यू प्रैक्टिस puzzles and brain teasers on a daily basis, you will definitely ace the LRDI section. The approach is that you need to be consistent with your preparation. Okay, this is, I think I've already told you. इस पेपर में ये तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपको कितने क्वेश्चन कौन सा क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करना है, लेकिन उससे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपको कौन सा क्वेश्चन नहीं अटेम्प्ट करना है. सो एक बार मैं स्लाइड पे दोबारा जाऊंगा. इफ यू हैव अटेम्प्टेड एनीवेयर बिटवीन, let's say 46 to 49 questions out of 66 with 85 to 90% accuracy, all said and done, you have actually aced CAT with 99 percentile. 99 percentile का मैं सीधा बता देता हूँ कि आप टॉप 1% पॉपुलेशन में से हो जिसने एग्जाम को लिखा है. एंड जस्ट गिव एन एग्जांपल, लेट्स से अगर 1 लाख लोगों ने कैट लिखा है और आपका अगर 99 परसेंटाइल आया है, दैट मींस आपकी जो रैंक है वो टॉप 1000 में से है. टॉप 1000 रैंक में होने का मतलब ये है कि टॉप 10 कॉलेजेस जो कैट का स्कोर लेते हैं उसमें से मिनिमम 7 से आपका कॉल आएगा ही आएगा. सो this is basically a slide that talks about the success parameters as well as cracking CAT. You need to be very good at comprehension, और comprehension का आप reference सिर्फ English से ही मत लीजिए. Comprehension का मतलब ये भी है कि आपके सामने जो मैथ्स की प्रॉब्लम आई है, did you able to understand what's the concept behind that, and did you find the trick to solve that particular problem? Logical reasoning, data interpretation में comprehension का मतलब ये है, are you able to comprehend the given data and extrapolate that कि आप अपना final इसका आंसर निकाल सकें. सो कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का मतलब ये ओवरऑल होलिस्टिक है, नॉट जस्ट स्पेसिफिक टू इंग्लिश. द सेकंड इंपॉर्टेंट सक्सेस पैरामीटर इज क्वेश्चन सिलेक्शन. तो लेट्स से 40 मिनट के लिए आपके पास एक सेक्शन मिला है आपको करने के लिए, अटेम्प्ट करने के लिए. तो अगर आप पहले के 3-4 मिनट इस पे भी इन्वेस्ट कर देते हो कि मेरे को कौन से क्वेश्चन करने हैं और कौन से नहीं करने हैं, विच इज परफेक्टली फाइन, राइट? सारे क्वेश्चन तो वैसे भी अटेम्प्ट नहीं करने होते कैट में. Third, and a very important thing is accuracy. Whatever you are attempting, you need to be very sure of it. Ideal accuracy, 85 to 90%, right? Jahan tak reading speed ki baat hai, when I talk about my time, like 20, 21 years back, 22 years back rather, उस time पे क्वेश्चन पेपर बहुत एग्जॉस्टिव होता था. आरसी पैसेज अकेले ही 7-8 आते थे. तो आपकी रीडिंग स्पीड जो आइडियल चाहिए होती थी, दैट वाज अपवर्ड्स ऑफ 250 वर्ड्स पर मिनट. आज की तारीख में इवन इफ लाइक 180 वर्ड्स पर मिनट का भी है, देन इट इज आल्सो मोर देन सफिशिएंट, राइट? A very important percentile to understand how difficult this paper is. Ignore the second, third, fourth column from the left. Just concentrate on the overall one. The maximum marks that you can score in CAT, my dear friends, is 198. So if you have scored 84 marks, that is, if you have scored 42% marks in CAT, you have cracked the 99 percentile. और अगर आपने 9 नंबर और लेके आए, और ये मैं CAT 22 की बात कर रहा हूँ, at a score of 93, which is little less than 50% score, you have actually got 99.5 percentile. अब आप top 500 लोगों में से हो. So this is like 99.5 percentile का मतलब है, if not guarantee, but assured कि all the 6 blackies would definitely call you for the personal interview. And your chances of cracking the final is also very high, because most of the good colleges, they give a very high weightage to the CAT score. In fact, अगर आप इस स्लाइड को देखोगे तो इसमें एक ब्रेकअप दिखाया हुआ है वेटेज का. So IIM Ahmedabad gives weightage of 65% to the CAT score. IIM Bangalore gives 55% weightage to the CAT score. IIM Calcutta gives 56% weightage to the CAT score. IIM Lucknow gives 60% weightage to the CAT score, with an exception of IIM Indore. Or all the females who are attending this webinar, एक मैं आपको यहाँ पे analysis बताता हूँ. If you have scored, let's say 96 percentile in CAT, and अगर आपके 12th में 90% and above हैं, और आपके 10th में भी 90% and above हैं, you will sure get called from IIM Indore. I'm talking about females. So gender diversity के marks ज़्यादा होते हैं यहाँ पे. So there is and CAT के score की weightage is only 20. So that is why मैंने 96 percentile बोला. Otherwise इन सब colleges में जो cut off शुरू होती हैं वो 98 percentile से ऊपर ही होती हैं. कितना टाइम देना चाहिए? If we are talking about next year's CAT, even if you give, my dear friends, 1 to 1.5 hours per day, and on weekends if you give 2 hours each, that means 4 hours on weekend and 5 hours cumulatively between Monday to Friday. Now this is apart from your reading. I'm talking only about quant, LRDI. So अगर आप इतना देते हो तो it is more than sufficient. 9 to 10 hours per day for next year's CAT is sufficient. If you're preparing for this year's CAT, per day from now onwards is minimum 6 hours. If you are taking this year's CAT, it's minimum 6 hours per day. So your time given to CAT, increases exponentially as the time squeezes. तो अगर आप CAT की तैयारी अगले साल के लिए कर रहे हो, आज मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ कि डेली का 1 से 1.5 घंटा देना है, लेकिन आज से 3 महीने बाद बोलूंगा 2 घंटा देना है, उसके 2 महीने बाद बोलूंगा कि आपको कम से कम 3 घंटे देने हैं. So the time given increases when the time to give CAT reduces. This is something, I have this proclivity towards English language skills. So पहली बात तो ये, these are recommendations from our side कि level 1, level 2 और level 3, reading आपको improve करने के लिए क्या क्या करना चाहिए. But for most of the when I started my MBA preparation, I was at level 0 or maybe negative. Why negative? Because I never had attitude towards reading. So it was first important to develop that attitude towards reading. And आप ना थोड़े self help books भी देखना, थोड़ा Google भी करना, आपको चीज दिखेगी. If you practice something for good 22 days, mind you, if you practice something for 22 days, from 23rd day onwards, it becomes your habit. So if you have zero attitude towards reading, आप बिल्कुल आप पढ़ते ही नहीं हो, कुछ भी रीडिंग करते ही नहीं हो, और अगर आप डेली मान लो कि मेरे को 1 से 1.5 घंटा रीड करना ही करना है और अच्छे क्वालिटी चीज पढ़नी है, 22nd day onwards, 23rd day onwards, you will have, you would crave for to read something really good. So that will become your habit, and that is something which is a beginning of an improvement or a success. And these are our recommendations as far as level 1 for easy is concerned. Of course, The Guide, Malgudi Days, Notes from Small Room, Rains in the Mountains by Ruskin Bond, Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, extremely good book. Then Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable. Then, of course, we have Geeta Piramal's Business Maharajas and Business Legends. Some of the finest books because they also give you biographies worth 10 to 50 pages of an incredible businessman that India ever had. So, Dhirubhai Ambani, Aditya Birla, Ghanshyam Das, in सबकी biographies हैं and presented in a very beautiful way by Geeta Piramal. And of course, 100 selected stories by O. Henry, which is amazing. And अगर आपके घर में Times of India आता है, daily उसमें blog आता है, The Speaking Tree. This is the easy level. Now, once you have crossed the easy level in next, let's say 2-3 months, then you need to switch to the moderate level. And these are the recommendations. And definitely that's a pro level, which is Unpopular Essays by Bertrand Russell, Argumentative Indian by Amartya Sen, The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. This is pro level. Or CAT mein RC is basically pro level. So the way to improve the quantitative ability is basically practice. Go for a 2-round strategy. Attempt easy questions first, ताकि बाद में जब आप मुश्किल क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करो तो ये इजी क्वेश्चंस आपके सामने ना आए. Your formulas and concepts go hand in hand. You need to first master concepts. A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB. From where hell this formula has come? मेरे को रटने भी क्यों जरूरत है? वो क्या चीजें, क्या ट्रिक्स हैं जिससे कभी इसकी नीड ही एलिमिनेट हो? बिकॉज एग्जाम में कोई भी फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है. Suggested ways to improve logical reasoning. I would always recommend Brain Teasers and Puzzles by George Summers. Extremely good book. Solve 2 to 3 puzzles a day. Guys, ऐसी कई वेबसाइट्स हैं, ऐसी कई एप्स हैं मोबाइल स्टोर पे, ऐप स्टोर पे, प्ले स्टोर पे, जिसपे आप अगर सब्सक्राइब करें तो डेली बेस पे आपको 2-3 पजल्स भी भेजते हैं. Start playing games that require logical reasoning, such as chess. Right? Have an eye for patterns. Practice critical thinking. And person who actually reads on a daily basis, उसकी चीज बहुत ज्यादा इंप्रूव होती है. हम बोलते हैं critical reasoning, which is very much useful to solve the logical reasoning problems. Now, I will not solve a problem out here about the chessboard. Someday later, when you come over here to the institute, a little bit about ourselves, guys. We are the only education company in India which is listed on stock exchange. So whatever results that we display or communicate, there's a lot of responsibility and a trust behind it. So ये audited होते हैं तभी हम publish कर पाते हैं. 330 unique calls only from IIM Ahmedabad. 572 interview calls only from IIM in Bangalore. 404 interview calls from IIM Calcutta. So this is, मैंने अभी 3 colleges का जो इंडिया के top 3 colleges हैं उनका result लिखा है. We are present across all these 8 places in Delhi. So you can actually walk into any of these centers which are nearest to your college or your home and get the relevant information about the courses if you want to inquire. But more importantly, get your one-to-one counseling done by an MBA or a CAT expert, because that is very crucial. So that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being patient listeners. I'm ready to take your questions if you have one. So we can start. You can either put it on the chat box, or you can even DM me also over here, or you can unmute and speak.
I request the attendees to put forward their queries in the chat box, or they can unmute and ask their questions themselves.
This is my contact number. I put it on the chat box. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि query अभी सामने नहीं होती है. आप मुझे कॉल भी कर सकते हो. Just in case अगर मैं कहीं बिजी हूँ तो आप मेरे को इस पे WhatsApp कर सकते हो. I would definitely revert you within 1 hour. I put my number on the chat box.
So I had a question myself. You mentioned the preparation time for the next year's attempt and for this year's attempt, but like people say that CAT is quite difficult to crack and stuff, and they normally suggest a time that's like, say 3-4 hours a day or more than that. So it was regarding that, like 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day, is that sufficient if we're for the preparation?
Okay, so Anjali, अगर next year aim कर रहे हो तो anywhere between 1 to 2 hours.
Okay, sir.
Plus 45 minutes of newspaper editorial reading.
Okay.
Or a good book reading, right?
Yes.
If you're preparing for this year's CAT, अब रह गए हैं 4 महीने, almost 4 महीने, 5 दिन, 6 दिन. Now we need 6 hours per day minimum. और CAT का notification अभी first week of August में आ जाएगा. You are in which year? Second year or third year?
I'll be going to second year. I have time.
You'll be going to the second year. So you will be eligible for next year's CAT. इस साल के CAT के लिए तो आप eligible भी नहीं है. People who are going to third year this next month, they will be eligible for this year's CAT. But you guys are eligible for not for this year's CAT, but for next year's CAT. The CAT eligibility is that on the day of writing exam, you should be in your final year and you should have scored more than 50% marks till your fifth, fourth semester, whatever. Second thing, अगर आप में से कोई category student है, तो काफी relaxation मिलता है percentile पे. I've seen people with 75 percentile going into IIM Lucknow. People who come from scheduled tribe, scheduled caste, OBCs, non-creamy layer, and all that stuff. But for general category, the things are a little different. So that's about it, Anjali. There's a person who's asked the question, what is the importance of work experience for CAT? Preeti, it is a very good, I wouldn't say it carries a very high weightage. It varies from institute to institute. It varies from a 0% weightage to as high as 15% weightage as far as work experience is concerned, but it's not a deal breaker if you have scored very good percentile, right? What is the right time to start coaching for CAT? Srishti, if you could please specify which year you are studying in, because like Anjali, if you are taking next year's CAT, then I think I've already answered the question 1 to 2. हाँ तो सृष्टि आपको 1 से 2 घंटा डेली दे दिया plus 45 minutes of reading आपने न्यूज़पेपर की अच्छी बुक की थी, that is more than sufficient. Okay, so that's about it. Should we devote time for CAT coaching or internships? Vinayak, what is important to crack a B school is a very healthy CAT percentile. Internship अगर 2-3 कम भी कर लोगे चलेगा. इनफैक्ट अगर आपका CAT का परसेंटाइल बहुत अच्छा होगा तो इंस्टीट्यूट आपको वहां पे पढ़ने के लिए बुलाएगा. Is it better study outside India? Fee structure is not that much different. Devanshi, it depends upon आप finally settle कहाँ होना चाहते हो. If you want to settle abroad, then you have to do your MBA or management course from outside only. But if you want to settle in India, then it has to be from Indian B school only. You know the reason? The reason is pretty simple. For example, Nestle India would want a student who have done his or her MBA from an Indian B school if Nestle is looking forward to hire student for its Indian operations. For its outside India operation, let's say in Europe, Nestle would hire students from the MBA colleges of Europe like INSEAD. So, if you are thinking कि बाहर से MBA करके अगर आप इंडिया में आओगे तो उसकी वैल्यू नहीं होगी, लेकिन अगर आप बाहर सेटल होना चाहते हो तो आपको बाहर से ही MBA करना चाहिए. What is the most marketable MBA specialization? Anushka, it is as easy a question कि पहले which came first, chicken or the egg, because Xavier Labor Relation Institute XLRI का जो highest domestic package लगा है वो लगा है 1.12 CR का अभी February में, and the specialization was human resource management, which is considered to be a least marketable specialization. But generally speaking, it is consulting, usually marketing, which is very much into the things. But from prospects point of view, जो आपको बहुत diversified एकदम से options देता है, वो है finance. I mean, diversified chances across industry जो सबसे ज़्यादा specialization देती है, वो है finance. Any other question?
Yeah, sir. I just wanted to ask if a candidate who is trying for a CAT or some kind of B schools, so if the person already has not that good percentile in his graduation, and the percentage in 10th and 12th is also not that much. I mean, like top B schools ask for 90+%. So if a candidate जिसकी percentage 80 to 90% है and उसकी graduation CGPA भी around 8 है, then what should be the plan to crack that?
तो ये तो बहुत अच्छी है.
these schools? Sir,
ये
it's
तो
not
बहुत
mine.
अच्छी है. I tell you about me. I scored a kind of good. So
Yeah.
in 1995, rather 1996, I scored 87% marks in my 10th standard.
Okay.
Sorry, it was 1996. Yeah. In 1998, I scored 72.3% marks in my 12th standard. I scored 62% marks in my graduation. So मेरा graph तो यूं था,
Right.
downward trend.
Right.
I knew it very well that I have nothing to lose but to score very high in my CAT and other entrance exam. So मैंने वहां पे इतना किया, इतना ज्यादा किया कि ये चीजें फिर मैटर नहीं करी. Yes, I did face this conundrum in terms of a question that your academic record doesn't seem pretty much exciting. It's on a declining
Right.
trend. So why should we hire you? Then I explained them that how I loved my subjects, and sadly they couldn't reflect in my marks. But I not just expressed my love for my subjects, but I even gave them answers to whatever questions they threw at me. So they said that for an average level student, knowing this is more than sufficient. But they warned me by saying at the end of the interview that if you join our college, if you're given an opportunity to join our college, you got to score very good grades there. So you need to be very, very focused on कि आप कहाँ अपना chances maximize कर सकते हो. और जो आप मुझे अपने score बता रहे हो, ये बहुत decent है दोस्त. ये बहुत decent है. Is there any restriction on number of attempts for CAT? No, Himanshi. मैं आज 43 years का हूँ और मैं कई साल से CAT लिखता आ रहा हूँ. There is no age restriction. In fact, the founder of CL, one of the founders of CLs, Mr. Gautam Puri, he's been writing CAT every year for the last 27 years. जो यहाँ classes भी लेते हैं. So there's no age restriction. हम लोग भी जाके अपना section attempt करके आते हैं. मतलब अगर मैं English का teacher हूँ या LRDA का teacher हूँ, तो मैं अपना section attempt करके आऊँगा. Will preparing for CAT be enough to score well in GMAT as well? Vinayak, no, I would say, because 60% syllabus is same. The rest 40% is completely different. And GMAT is a computer adaptive test. It's not a computer based test like CAT or maybe IFT or a SNAP or maybe TISNET. So computer adaptive test is basically your GMAT.
Thank you, sir.
Nice questions, guys. बहुत अच्छे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा. So that's it. I think thank you so much. कोई और क्वेश्चन तो जरूर पूछेगा. And you guys must have noted the number. बाद में याद आए तो उस पे भी आप मुझे पिंग कर देना कि सर इसके बारे में कुछ बताइए. तो I'll definitely call you and explain.
Thank you so much, sir, for this enormously illuminating session. And for answering our queries and for giving us a varied opinion. On behalf of ComHub and everyone in the presence, I appreciate Mr. Navneet Anand for this extremely informative webinar. Thank you so much, sir, for all the insightful information you shared with us today. I believe that this session will surely help each one of us in our future endeavors. We all feel delighted
Thank you so much.
A part of today's session.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time.
I hope, ma'am, Indu ma'am, I justified the opportunity that gave it to you.
Yeah, sir, आपने जो एक quotation beginning में बोली है, वो मैंने लिखी है. Mind में parachute जब भी काम करते हैं, जब दोनों open होते हैं. और सर ये बिल्कुल true है, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.